What's up, everyone, and welcome to Metalcore Nerds. This is the Book of Boba Fett after show. My name is Sean, the host, and with me, my trusty co-host, my Florida man, my own Florida man, Chris. What's going on, my man?
Get you a Florida man. What's up, Sean? How you doing, dude?
Doing good, man. Doing good. We were talking about a little beforehand about how Sam went on vacation last week and how I was a psychopath and I watched 8 movies and recorded 5 podcast episodes for being not my own.
Ooh, Mr. Worldwide over here. My timeline's about to get carpet bombed by metalcore nerds.
I hope so. I hope so. Just trying to get the word out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the people gotta know. People gotta know.
People gotta know. The people gotta know. And they're all very different, which I love about that. It's cool. It's cool to be on different shows and get a feel of what they do, like personally, and get to do different things. It's nice. I like it.
To quote my co-host for our Dexter episode, it's cool that there are other nerd shows out there that do things differently.
Oh boy, yikes. We don't need to go down that road, but if you know, you know, I guess.
If you know, you know.
And yesterday was my birthday, which this episode is going to come out 2 days after my birthday, but
Happy birthday.
32, you know. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Felt a lot of love yesterday, especially in the Metalcore Nerds group, and it was super awesome for, you know, everyone to say happy birthday. It's nice to feel loved, all right? I like
it. For sure. And dude, you got a hell of a birthday present because you had new Peacemaker this week, and you got one of the dopest episodes of Boba, one of the dopest episodes of the Mandalorian or Boba that we've seen. Period. One of the dopest things in Star Wars
ever. Basically,
I can't wait to talk about this episode.
Yes, we're gonna get very, very into this episode and all its fucking glory. And also, shout out to Sam who got me tickets to John Mayer in a few weeks, which I'm fucking amped about. Yeah, yes. John Mayer, fight me.
John Mayer's good. Come at me.
Yeah, John Mayer's dope. Everyone's like, man, I don't like his songs on the radio. And I'm like, those songs are cool. His other songs are way cooler. Just like a lot of artists. It is what it is.
Yeah. He's an incredible guitarist, especially.
He's so good. He's so good.
I mean, the Grateful Dead wouldn't have asked him to go on tour with them if he wasn't absolutely incredible. So that's when that's the only time I've seen John Mayer. But me neither. But after seeing John Mayer with Dead & Co., I was like, all right, maybe I am a Grateful Dead guy.
I don't put it past anyone. You like what you like. Not my thing. Probably because my dad liked it so much, and my dad and I never really got along. Probably has something to do with it.
It's not metal enough.
It is. Dude, I mean, I'm going to see John Mayer. There's nothing metal. You know, just saying, you know. But let's talk a little bit about what we watched this week, and then we'll get into the Boba talk. So, Chris, lay it on me.
So, shouts to you and your friend Austin, who you did the Hawkeye after show with, because I broke and I watched The Leftovers, and I blew through season 1. I actually caught a cold last weekend, and so I was down for the count, and I was like, you know what pairs well with a cold is Depression, the television show. And so
it is utterly depressing. You are right.
It's so depressing. And I watched all of season 1 and then all of season 2 in a span of like 3 or 4 days. My friends who have seen the show were like, you're insane. You watch all of that show in 2 days, 3 days. And I was like, yes.
Yeah, that is a lot. Yeah.
I watched it pretty so
fast,
heavy.
Not that fast.
It was so heavy. I was like, my mental health is rapidly declining.
Yes.
But so now I'm on season 3 and I'm midway through. I'm on episode 4 or 5. And the show's just a trip. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautifully written. And I'm really, really enjoying it. And I'm really looking forward to whatever questions the writer deems it worthy to answer at the end of the show. I have no expectations of like any problems or being solved or any questions being actually answered.
Yeah.
So
it's for the best, I think. I also realized the thing, because everyone kind of said the ending of shows suck for the most part, and I think it has to do with fans getting this like crazy expectations or writing their own endings, or I think that has to do with it, because there's a lot of people in like, I was listening. Oh yeah, the High End Horror episode I was listening to today, and Miles was saying how the ending of Dexter sucked. And I know I live on an island. The new season of Dexter sucked. Well, he said it sucked less than the original, but it still kind of sucked.
Yeah,
and I think
and I haven't seen it, so no spoilers.
No, I'm not. I would not do that. It's like a very big ending, so I would not spoil it. As you can probably tell, when they talk about the ending, everyone's like, I won't say anything.
Yeah.
So it kind of deems it that way. But I loved the ending, and I felt like it was a very justifiable ending. I do agree that some plot points kind of get lost in the shuffle in a way, or maybe aren't answered fully. I guess I will agree with him there, but I thought the ending was very fitting. And I actually posted on Facebook. I was like, I know I live in an island, but I thought the finale of Dexter New Blood was awesome. And like a ton of people commented saying, no, I really liked it too. So I guess I'm not the only person, but it seems like I'm in either it's like the minority, or it's kind of 50-50 of people loved it or hated it. Or I wouldn't say hated it, or was just like, it was better than the one we got, but I still didn't really like it, I guess is really the other side. But I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like Lance, it's funny because Lance and I seem to agree on almost everything. It's so weird. It seems like our opinions on stuff align pretty well. And me and him got in like a big conversation about it, because he's like, I hated it. And I always ask the question, because I'm like, if you hated it, what would you have done different? Because I'm always interested to see. And some people just they're just like, I don't know, I didn't like it. Which to me is like, hating a solution, but not having another solution. It's kind of like not just, which is fine. You can hate something without having a reason. I just like to see if someone has a reason. And he kind of brought up his different endings. And I'm like, see, I was like, if it ended that way, I don't think I would have liked it. So I was like, it's, it is what it is. It's interesting to see other people's point of views on things.
I'm in the super.
It's good to get that kind of thing.
I'm in the super minority where I actually did not think the ending of Game of Thrones was nearly as bad as everyone said it was. I think that, I think there was actually like a cult of people who were like, everyone, let's hate Game of Thrones' ending, like way more than it ever deserved. Like, yes, it was not everything that I wanted, and it was not a great ending.
Yeah.
But it was not the worst. I would even say it's maybe not even a good ending, but it was not the worst ending of all time. Like people act like it was. Like there are people who are like, the entire show, I can't go back and rewatch it because the ending sucks so bad. And I'm like, you're tripping.
Why? Yeah, it's like, why?
Yeah.
And I'm in the same boat. So is Sam. We were like, it's not as good as the other seasons, but I think the thing I said is some plot points definitely could have ended a lot better, but the way most of the stories tied up made sense. But it's very not Game of Thrones. Usually things don't make sense, and that was kind of the allure. The Ulta episode of each season, something fucking buck wild happened, and you're like, holy fuck, didn't see that coming. And then now, and you're like, oh yeah, I can see that happening. And that's like kind of the issue with it, is that it ended in a way where it kind of tied everything up in a nice little bow. And that's like the opposite of what made Game of Thrones so crazy, is that it was like the most insane show ever and nothing mattered, and main characters like died all the time. There were like, no one was safe, which was part of the coolest part. It's kind of why I like love The Walking Dead, because it's like, it doesn't matter who you are, you could die. It doesn't matter. And that's cool. It's like surprising and different and doesn't happen often. But yeah, I'm with you on that too, for sure. I will still say the worst season finale of all time is How I Met Your Mother, and I will stand by that until I see one that is worse. But I don't think I will.
I think Trent might actually be with you on that. He's a huge How I Met Your Mother fan. I actually have never finished that show. I do like it, but I've never gotten.
It goes past, very downhill after like season 4 or something. It's not even bad. It's just not as good. It just isn't.
But how about How I Met Your Father?
It's not that bad. I'm with Mash. Mash has been talking about it on Hops Geek News, and it's Sam actually wanted to watch it because Hilary Duff's in it, and she loves Hilary Duff.
Love Hilary Duff.
And it's like fine. It's just sometimes it's trying too hard to be How I Met Your Mother, and other times it's kind of nice. It's like those nice nostalgia boosts where you're like, oh, okay, I see what they're doing there. But other times it's like they're really trying to be How I Met Your Mother, and it's like, okay, chill. And some of the acting is, or not even acting. Some of the dialogue is a little like cringy, but it's fine. I don't hate it. I don't think it's terrible. It's just like, it's a nice. You watch it. It's some parts are funny, and it's over, and you're like, cool. Like that, it's not terrible, but it's not amazing. You know, it's right in that middle. So I'm fine watching it because it's like a nice, easy watch. You don't have to be overly pay attention to everything. It's fine to have on and just let it be. You know.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna list the movies I watched last week because there's a lot. So I watched The Fallout, which is a new movie on HBO Max. It has I believe her name's Jenna Ortega from Scream.
Yeah.
The girl from the beginning, not the main girl's sister. Which actually I watched a movie with the main girl in it too, which is funny enough. It was a very Scream-esque weekend, I guess. And then I watched Mitchells vs. the Machines, which Lord and Miller produced from Spider-Verse. Amazing movie. It's on Netflix. It's animated.
I heard good things about that one, actually.
Dude, it's so fucking good. It's
really
unbelievably good. The animation is incredible. The story is awesome. It's like a heartfelt family story. Also has to do with the end of the world. It's great. I highly suggest watching that movie. I gave it 4.5 stars out of 5. Like, it is very good.
Damn. Okay. I see you.
Then I watched, so coming up on the Four Nerds by Nerds podcast, Mash and I were on it, and we talked about like disaster, end of the world movies, pretty much. And a bunch of movies they brought up I haven't even seen. So one was the Planet of the Apes trilogy, the one that Matt Reeves directed 2 of them. Never seen them. So I watched all those.
Oh my God. What did you think? I have to know.
I thought they were fucking dope. Like,
they're so sick, right?
Oh, they're so good. Pretty much it's just me feeling bad for Caesar the entire trilogy.
Yes.
Because all of his problems are really not his fault.
Yep.
And he has to deal with them. It sucks. But those were very, very good movies. It made me even more stoked for the Batman than I already was, which I didn't think was possible. But here we are.
Oh my God. And the last one is actually incredible.
Dude, Woody Harrelson. Whew, I wish he was fucking like that and Let There Be Carnage.
I know.
That's what I was expecting, and he was not that. Not his fault, but it is what it is. And then another one that Mash brought up that's a kind of end of the world, Love and Monsters, which is on Hulu right now. And I believe his name's Daniel O'Brien. He was in like The Maze Runner, a bunch of shit like that. It was really cool. And actually, Jessica Henwick is in it as well from Iron Fist and The Matrix Resurrections, she was like the best part of that movie.
Still haven't seen that.
I mean, you can, I guess. I don't know. There's good things. Overall, not great. Pretty big letdown. And then I watched In the Heights, which I didn't catch from last year, which stars the main character from Scream, the new Scream, which honestly, amazing movie. It's very, very good. It's super heartfelt. I know it's a musical, and this isn't like this is just a personal thing like me. So did you watch Tick Tick Boom?
I watched like 30-40 minutes of it, but I haven't gotten a chance to sit down and finish it.
Okay. I love Tick Tick Boom. And that's like a musical movie too, but they do the best job of balancing music and dialogue. Not every piece of dialogue is a piece of music like most musicals are. I liked the balance in Tick Tick Boom personally for me. And in the Heights, it's like mostly singing, which is fine. It's a musical. It's what it's supposed to be. But just like personally, I liked the balance of like having like it was kind of like 50-50 with dialogue and music. I like that a little more. But it was very, very good. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote it. He did not direct it. He directed Tick Tick Boom though. That dude had a fucking year last year. In the Heights, Tick Tick Boom, and then he did Encanto too, which I have not seen either, but I know it's on Disney Plus and I want to check it out, and people are raving about that too. So
yeah, I hear good.
That dude had a hell of a year. I'm not like a Hamilton guy. I do not like Hamilton. I'm not a fan at all, and I know a lot of people are, and that's fine. I just not my thing. Did not dig it at all. But In the Heights, dope. Tick Tick Boom, dope. Encanto, I'm sure is dope. Everyone said it's dope, so I'll definitely check that out too. And then the last movie I watched was the Map of Tiny Perfect Things, which stars the girl from Freaky is actually in it. And the dude I'm not familiar with. I don't know if he's really into anything, but it's a very Groundhog Day-esque movie. But the two main characters are both stuck in the same loop. Very heartfelt, very coming of age. It was a really good movie. It's on Amazon, which is probably why most people haven't seen it. But yeah, watch a lot of movies. But they were all really good. I was not one of them where I was like, this movie sucked. So cool. It was cool to watch that many movies in succession and them all be like really good. I was like, man, these are all really good. This is cool.
Yeah, you got some dramas in there too. I feel like I need to like step back up on my drama watch list. I'm like so partial to like sci-fi and action and horror and the occasional comedy. So like, but I love the drama genre in general. Like some of my favorite TV shows are just straight up dramas. So I'm gonna have to check some of those out. They sound good.
Oh, I did watch most of Station 11 this week too. I started it on Sunday and I'm on episode 9, so I'm almost done. And it's awesome. It's like you were talking about The Leftovers. The writer of The Leftovers corrected and wrote Station 11. And it's very cool. I'm loving it. So I can't wait to see how it ends. And yeah. And of course,
I love me some Cheevan.
The best. Oh, Cheevan is awesome. The best. I'm getting to the episode that's very Cheevan heavy, and I'm very interested in it. And then of course Peacemaker, the best show on fucking TV right now.
Oh God, I love Peacemaker so much.
It's so like great. It's so good.
Like my girlfriend, she had not seen the Suicide Squad. She saw the original, and I was about to show her when Peacemaker, the first 2 episodes dropped. I was like, we should watch this. And she's like, okay. And I was like, you've seen the Suicide Squad, right? And she's like, yeah, the one with like the witch and the Joker and stuff. And I was like, oh God. I was like, no. Let's. So we sat down, we watched Suicide Squad, and she's like, that was actually amazing. She's like, I am obsessed with King Shark. And I was like, you and everyone else on planet Earth. And then right after that,
I would die for King Shark. I would die for King Shark.
Right after that, we sat down and watched Peacemaker, and she's like not big on gore. Like she's very sensitive to super gory stuff. And I was like, I'm just gonna tell you right now,
she liked the Suicide Squad.
She did. There was parts
that movie is brutal.
Like when King Shark rips that guy in half with the lightning bolt, she's like, oh my God.
Like the opening scene.
Yeah,
when they get on the beach, is fucking like real
mowed down.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's obsessed, and we watch weekly now together. And like we just watched the new one last night,
man.
Yeah, so it's good stuff. It's very good stuff.
That's awesome. I love that.
That's one I make a priority to watch every week.
It's very good stuff. Oh yeah, I'm bummed it's going to be over in 2 weeks.
Oh, you think they'll have a season 2?
Wait, what?
You think they'll have a season 2?
The rumblings are there's going to be a season 2.
God, I hope
I'm
so.
stoked about.
John Cena, like this is a show where I could just have John Cena for like 5 seasons, easy.
Oh, yeah, dude, this is the role for John Cena. He is murdering it, and I love seeing the layers of this character. This character that you go into this series hating, like despising, like this dude sucks, and you're like, man, I like get this guy now. It's amazing what James Gunn can do with characters. It's unbelievable. He is the best at it. There's no one like him that does the stuff he does. It's just a fact. Like he is so good at this shit.
And he's out here in these music, Twitter streets,
the beats like comedy, and
he's in these Twitter streets liking all our tweets, bro. All our podcasting friends are getting some love from James Gunn, which is I'm like, notice me, senpai.
We're all basically best friends. We're all basically best friends with James Gunn now.
Yeah, he's coming to my baby shower. I don't have children, for those of you wondering.
Having a baby. Yeah. I'm not even having a baby, but you want to come over, James? You want to hang out? Maybe? No? Okay, that's fine. All right, you ready to talk about the Book of Boba Fett here?
Oh, dude, I've been waiting patiently, so patiently.
Okay, so before we get into this, obviously we're going to go full spoilers, but I wanted to bring up this tweet that I saw because I know some people are all complaining that Boba isn't in the Boba show. So I just want to shed some light on you of when the show got announced, or even before the show got announced. So at Disney's Investor Day on December 10th, 2020, and this I took from the fine gentleman at Adam Fraser on Twitter. I'm not going to read his whole thing, but he dives way into this, but I'm just going to do the main info dump from the beginning of this. So on Disney Investor Day in 2020, Kathleen Kennedy announced that the next chapter of the Mandalorian story would premiere in December 2021. Shortly after that, the season finale of The Mandalorian aired with a post-credit scene announcing that the Book of Boba Fett would premiere in December 2021. Okay. This led to speculation among a bunch of fans thinking that the Book of Boba Fett was Mandalorian Season 3, which Jon Favreau said it wasn't, but it will be the continuation of the Mandalorian story, which everyone internally and fans alike at this time, a year ago, like a year and a half ago or whatever, not even a year and a half ago, we're saying like, oh, this will be Mandalorian 2.5, right? And then now it's starting, and it is becoming Mandalorian 2.5, and everyone's like, what the fuck? Boba Fett isn't in the Boba Fett show. But all of this stuff that is happening is crucial to the Boba Fett story. Everyone who's been featured is very connected to the Boba Fett story, whether it be Ahsoka, who had moments with him in Clone Wars, to Luke, who definitely had moments with him in Empire, and Return of the Jedi, and Din Djarin himself. He's the reason he got his armor back. Cobb Vanth had his armor.
Yep.
And is the reason that him and Din connected, which comes back in this episode. It being called the Book of Boba Fett is the perfect title, because all of these people that are coming in and kind of putting Boba to the back burner for now are very integral to the story at play, especially when they need muscle. Here comes Din Djarin, need a new ship. He's on Tatooine. And guess what? You don't just want him coming in. Why wouldn't you want to see what else he was doing while he comes in? It makes perfect sense.
Also, the same people complaining that Boba's not in it were the same people being like, the origin story of like Boba doing stuff with the Tusken Raiders was boring. This is stupid. Blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Like, I'm not interested. It's like, okay, just pipe down in the back there, peanut gallery.
Yeah, normal fandom complaining to complain. And yes, these two episodes have been better than the Boba Fett stuff that was prior, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion.
Yeah.
And like we talked, we've liked this show before this. We thought it was pretty cool. Yes, there were some things that were like, it's a little weird, but overall, pretty cool stuff.
Train heist was sick. I don't care what anybody says.
Train heist was dope as fuck. The trippy brain lizard was dope as fuck. Him coming out of the brain lizard, dope as fuck. And mowing down those fucking Nikto Raiders, dope as fuck. Like, it was cool. Like, him seeing rescuing Fennec. Retrospectively, looking back at it, I kind of wish they did all of the flashbacks in like an episode. Yeah, and the rest of it were kind of the futures. I think it would have flowed a lot better. Like, even him taking Fennec to that mod shop and then him recruiting the mod bikers after probably would have been like, oh, that makes sense. They saved his fucking right hand lady. Like, of course he would recruit them. He knows what they're about and shit like that. Like, it would make so much sense. It's just like, I'm kind of bummed by everyone saying he's kind of like, like a bitch now. And he's like, bro, he blew some motherfuckers up in episode 1. He mowed down that biker gang in episode 4. Like we talked about, he's a leader now. He can't kill everyone, or it's just going to be utter chaos. He's trying to retake Tatooine and make it his new home and his new, his new tribe and his new territory. And you can't do that by just murking everyone. Like, it's not going to work.
What about the bar fight where he just walked in and put the beat down on like 7 dudes?
That too. Yeah.
And like,
as we saw in The Mandalorian, he was fucking taking out stormtroopers left and right.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I will say his fight scene with him and Fennec in The Mandalorian is way more badass than anything he's done so far. But I almost feel like they might be saving some of like the best fight scenes with him involved for this war that's about to take place in the next episode.
Oh, yeah. And that was like another point of kind of putting Boba on the back burner. Because when he makes this triumphant war with the Pikes and he's out there fucking dealing with motherfuckers and riding a fucking Rancor, Like people are going to be like, this is fucking dope as fuck. Like, we'll talk about our expectations for the finale at the end of this, but I just wanted to get that out of the way because, people will complain. I love this show. I think if the finale lands, it can be on par with seasons of The Mandalorian and everything like that. But again, like Filoni's telling a story. Everything he does, as much as it connects to the movies, it connects to all of the stuff he's done before in animation in amazing, incredible ways.
Preach. Preach. Also, one other thing I wanted to mention is people are sleeping on the audible orgasm that we got when Boba dropped the sonic charge down the Sarlacc's throat.
Whew, that was good shit.
Every time. Every time.
It was amazing. It was good.
I want that to be my text message noise.
Dude, that'd be dope. You can do that. You can make it happen.
I'm about to make that.
Yeah, do that. That'd be good. I like that. So, episode 6 of the Book of Boba Fett. From the desert comes a stranger.
Oh God.
Let's get into this fucking shit. All right. Episode kicks off in Mos Pelgos, which we find out is later renamed Freetown. Great name. Good job, Cobb. Yep. With a few Pikes finishing off a drug deal. And Cobb Vanth returns in pure Western fashion with the framing of him holding the gun. It's fucking dope. And if you don't remember Cobb Vanth, he was from the season 2 premiere of Mandalorian, where he was wearing Boba Fett's armor, and then he eventually gets the armor back from him after they take down the Crate Dragon. And I love this cowboy shit.
Yes.
It's so dope. Him being like, hey, man, you guys just get out of here. Don't come back. We'll chalk it up to reading the map wrong. I love it. But the Pikes shows violence, and they fucked around and found out.
Yes, they did. They chose violence with the wrong motherfucker, too.
That's for damn sure. So he takes out 3 out of 4 of them, and he goes, think about it for a second. I see you're the smart one. And he's like, leave that box. Get out of here. We'll call it good. Obviously doing it as like a warning to bring him back, be like, hey, don't mess with this territory, whatever. He kicks over the carton of spice, lets it flow in the wind, all Dune style. No crazy visions, but it is what it is. Anything else you want to add to the Cobb Vanth reintroduction?
I'm just happy that we got Timothy Olyphant back in the Star Wars universe. Like when the second season of The Mandalorian was premiering, and like week to week, I was like, I just love this character so much, and he's just so Star Wars. He just fits the universe so well that like he needs to be a recurring character. So I'm really, really happy that they brought him back.
Me too. And man, that dude has some nice ass hair.
Dude, oh my God, yeah. Fucking swag for days. He's just dripping swagger.
Best hair in the galaxy, I would say.
Yeah.
Some nice ass hair, man.
It's a beautiful man.
Yeah, I agree. So, fuck, Jesus Christ. I can't believe this episode is real. So, we see Mando going to the planet to visit Grogu, where he's greeted by none other than R2-D2.
Oh.
And they are on the planet that we see Ben Solo burn a lot of to the ground in The Last Jedi. And I believe it's also the same planet that we see the Luke and Leia training flashback in The Rise of Skywalker. One of the coolest parts of that movie.
I think that is the same planet.
Because we see like the bamboo and shit like that. It seems like it's the same one, which is pretty dope. Pretty dope. And we see a bunch of these ant droids that look pretty fucking dope. They look like giant ants, and they're building the temple that we do see in The Last Jedi. And then we see them build a bench for Mando to wait on, which I thought was hilarious. And R2-D2 just shutting down and being like, bye.
Yeah, R2 just nopes the fuck out of there.
Yeah, he's like, well, I just want to see the kid, man. And he's like, see you later. Bye. I'm gonna take a nappy now. And then that leads us to seeing Luke and Grogu meditating. And last week I even said, I don't think we're going to see Grogu. And boy, was I fucking wrong. And I am happy to be wrong.
Oh my God. We got so much.
Wow.
So much Grogu.
So much Grogu. And It's amazing. And the CGI on Luke this time around is fucking unreal.
Far
Like,
superior.
I kept looking at it and be like, how is this real? Like, how is this
know.
happening? Like, how can they do this? This is magic. This is witchcraft shit. Like, this is insane.
Was it the same?
So good.
Was it the same guy who was the pilot from the last episode?
No, it was actually a different stand-in.
Oh, okay.
It was a different guy. But dude, oh my god, they hired this deepfake guy who did a deepfake version of the finale that we first saw Luke in. And that dude, money well spent, whatever the fuck he's doing, because it is unbelievable.
I love seeing people get elevated from like online. They're just like fans who do a great job, and then these studios are like, you know what, this guy's pretty good. Like, let's get him on our team.
Yeah. He's like, wow, he did the thing better than we did, and we're a multi-billion-dollar company. We should probably hire him. And they did, and here it is.
See it.
Yeah, he looks unbelievable. So Grogu tries to pick up a frog for a little force lunch, and Luke sees it. He's like, hey man, knock it off. And then he shows that with training, like, hey motherfucker, you can get all these fucking frogs, and lifts like every frog out of the pond.
Yes,
it's amazing. I just love seeing Grogu. He's the cutest thing in the fucking galaxy, and I love anything that he does because it's adorable. And I can't get enough of it. I love him so much. I love
the look of wonder on his face when Luke does lift up all of those frogs. He's like, "Oh my god, this is true power."
He's like, "Look at all the froggies!" Oh my god!
Yeah, that scene was awesome.
Oh, dude, it's so great, and it just gets fucking better. He says, "Let's go for a walk." They're going for a walk. Luke is force pushing him to keep up with him, which is adorable. Just like, poof. Oh my god. And he starts talking about Yoda, how he was small, just like him. He was small, but he had a big heart. And he said, just like he said, size matters not. He used to speak in riddles. Do you remember someone that used to speak in riddles? And dude, like, I am just losing my mind at this point. I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
And he sees that Grogu doesn't really remember. And even Ahsoka said this. He remembers that he was at the Jedi Temple, and then his memories go black. So Luke helps him unlock some of his memories, and we see from Grogu's perspective, seeing another version of Order 66, and 3 Jedi protecting him. Some people have said that it looks like he was kind of contained in something, and New Rockstars has a crazy theory, because we're going to talk about who might have saved him. New Rockstars theory is that he's inside R2-D2, and R2-D2 saved him. Which is a pretty good. It's probably the best one I've heard, because my theory is kind of dark. So we'll get to that in a second. But we see 3 Jedi fending off the 501st Clone Trooper Battalion, which is like the main one we saw in Clone Wars and shit like that, with the blue markings and everything like that, which is like the most badass battalion. Which is that's why these Jedi get fucking killed, because they're dealing with the best of the best here. But who do you think saved Grogu? Because I think we might find out. Maybe next week, maybe.
So I saw a theory that it could potentially be Barriss Offee.
Because you saw the signet on the side or whatever.
Yeah, apparently her room, her marking was on the room to the right in the frame. Yeah. So I think that would be interesting. Alternatively, I mean, it would be crazy if it was somehow Obi-Wan, but I doubt that, because he was obviously fighting Grievous.
Yeah. And Barriss kind of sucks, because she's a bad guy. It's the reason Ahsoka got kicked out of the Order.
Yep. Hate her.
So she kind of I saw that and I was like, oh, that bitch, she sucks.
Yep.
I was like, fuck her. So
maybe this is a redemption arc, though.
Maybe. And the R2-D2 one is a very good one. I like that one. Shout out to Eric Voss for that one. But my theory is kind of dark. The person that saves him, Anakin. Because Palpatine wanted him and already knew about him. So Anakin took him, and the Empire had him for a little bit, until he eventually got wherever he was when we saw him in Mando, in the beginning of Mando. But that'd be pretty dark. I mean, he was there. It makes a lot more sense than Yoda and Obi-Wan, who weren't there. Anakin was there. That's all I'm going to say. It's kind of dark.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard speculation that it could also be Mace Windu.
Yeah, if he didn't die, yeah. I mean, that's first rule of Star Wars. If they fall, probably alive.
Yeah, they have to be decapitated. That's the Star Wars way.
Yeah, cut in half, doesn't matter. Maul came back. Like, they fall, probably not dead. Tell me I'm wrong. They always come back. Every single one of them. Most of the time.
Yep, it's true.
They usually do. You can never trust a person that just falls, you know?
Mm-hmm. Obi-Wan fell. And look what problems he caused for the Empire when they didn't make sure he was dead.
That's true. That is true. That's a very good point. Mando wakes up to see Ahsoka Tano.
Oh my god.
Another time I was like, what the fuck is going on with this episode? Holy fuck.
I know. I freaked out at this point. I was like, she's in it?
I was like, okay, cool. All right, Filoni, what more can you give us? And he just kept giving us more. It was insane. Mando said he's surprised to see her, which I thought the same thing. I was like, holy fuck, she's here too. Jesus Christ. Mm-hmm. I immediately thought, because she says she's a friend of the family, which I immediately thought, oh my God. Luke and Ahsoka have talked. Yes. Holy fuck. And as soon as last season ended, and we saw that Luke was the one who took Grogu, and we obviously saw Ahsoka a few episodes earlier, I was like, man, you know what I need? I need them to have a conversation where Luke says, hey, he saved me. There was good still in him. And Ahsoka to have that reassurance, because the last time she saw him, they fought. And she technically died. Then Ezra came back and saved her through weird forced time travel. It's complicated. Watch Rebels. Yeah. You'll understand it. But the last time she saw him, he was far fucking gone. At least that's the last time we know that she saw him. I guess they probably could have maybe, but she wasn't really involved with the war and the, everything from the original trilogy. So we would assume that was the last time she saw him. But them having that conversation, I was like, holy fuck, I wanted this, and I did not know I would get it this soon. Like, this is crazy.
I know you've talked about that on this show.
Yeah, like I have wanted it so bad, and they gave it to me. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy fuck. Like, I did not expect this to happen this soon. I was like, maybe we'll see this like in the Ahsoka show or something. Like, I had no idea we would see it this soon. I mean, I had no idea we'd see Luke. And I have to take a break and say, whoever keeps secrets in Star Wars, fucking do that for everything else.
Yeah.
Because we had no idea. We were guessing, are we going to see Mando this season? And look how much we've seen of him.
Yep.
Like, none of this got leaked. And I'm wondering if it's because they do most of it in the volume. And it's enclosed. People can't take random pictures and post them on the internet. And it's covered by every fucking site ever. Like, I don't know if that's it. I have no idea. But whatever they're doing, they kept Luke's secret last year. Like, however they do it, props to them, because it is unbelievable the secrets they have kept on this show.
I mean, even last week we were like, yeah, I doubt that they're going to give us Grogu and Luke. And we got Grogu, Luke, a training montage, Ahsoka, and then we haven't even got to in my opinion, the big reveal of this episode.
Yeah.
I love
it. Dude, it's insane. So Ahsoka and Mando have this conversation, basically, of, hey, like, why are you letting Luke train him when you wouldn't train him? And she was basically like, it's what he wanted to do, and I can't change people what they want to do. And he's like, he's a foundling. I just want to give him this. And she's like, well, maybe he's a Padawan now. And I'm like, damn it, they're right there. There's this awesome shot of Ahsoka and Mando with Luke and Grogu in the distance. That's like, this episode is fucking gorgeous. Like, Filoni, you're a god. Like, I don't understand how he does the things he does, but he does.
Confirmed goated.
It's for real, dude. The dude is Star Wars. Sorry, George. I know everything exists because of you, but no one gets Star Wars more than Dave Filoni, and I will die on that hill. I think a lot of people would probably agree. It's unreal. And Mando brings out the little package he wanted to give him, and Ahsoka offers to give it to Grogu for him, saying that Grogu misses you a ton, but seeing you would only make it harder for him. And Mando just being a good fucking dude, peace out. Just says, make sure he's protected. And him being like, he's right there. I came all this way. I was like, dude, oh my God. I was like, please just let them hug or something.
I need this reunion.
But he leaves, and then as we see the ship leaving, we see Grogu reach out for him, and I'm like a puddle of emotions at this point, just like, wow, Jesus Christ, I love them so much. Like, Mando has to be like one of the best characters in Star Wars history. Like,
yeah.
And I was thinking about this the other day in live action, because obviously if we count animated, Obi-Wan and Anakin would weigh out this by a lot.
Yeah.
But there's no one we've spent more time with in Star Wars live action than the Mandalorian.
Yeah, it's true.
Because at this point, we've gotten 2 full seasons and then 2 episodes of Boba. Like, that's a lot of ground with the Mandalorian, which is like really amazing to think about. It's no wonder people love him so much. Like,
yeah. I mean, we've seen growth. We've seen like his attachment to Baby Yoda. We've seen his, stone heart thaw. It's been amazing. And he's made the hard choices now twice when it comes to Grogu. Well, 3 times, because he had to basically give up his life as being a bounty hunter to take care of Grogu in the first place, but then giving him to Luke, and now a second time ending up, going against what he wanted to do to make sure that doing what was best for Grogu.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. And there was a good point when he lands and meets R2-D2. He says, hello, friend, which we've seen in the beginning. He was like, no droids. So, and we saw it with the BD droid last episode being like, thanks, little buddy. Like, we've seen that's more of what you're saying with growth. Like, we've seen him break out of his ways and say like, hey, like kind of what we were talking about last episode, there isn't one way for things. You can go with things and learn and grow, and that's cool. It's fine.
Yeah.
And that's probably why we love him so much. Like, he's like us. Like, he's a human, even though he's a trained killer that has a magical Mandalorian lightsaber, but a little at his heart, he's a human,
I'm kind of surprised that Ahsoka didn't comment on that. On the Darksaber, that is.
On which part?
Like, just him having the Darksaber in general. Because the last time she saw him, he didn't have one. Yeah. Like, he didn't have that the last time he saw her.
Oh, maybe. Oh, yeah. Maybe he didn't see it. Maybe she didn't. Because she knows about the Darksaber.
Yeah.
A little bit, at least. Because I think she fought Maul when Maul had the Darksaber.
That would have been an interesting little conversation.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get it on the back end.
Yeah, we might. That's a good point to bring up. That's a very interesting viewpoint. Yeah, maybe she just didn't notice. But I feel like she would have had to, right?
Yeah, I mean, Ahsoka seems pretty astute.
Yeah.
Also,
she knows shit.
I know we saw this in Mando season 2, but how good did her lightsabers look hanging on her off her belt? I was just literally staring at them. So I was like, oh my God, they're so cool.
They are ungodly cool. And they're white. Like, the blades are white. It's so dope. Oh man, that episode from last season is incredible. Last season of Mandalorian is just like bonkers. Like that's another season you're just like, how is this real?
I know. Like, they're giving us this for Boba. I can't even imagine what season 3 of Mando is actually going to be like.
And what the Ahsoka series is going to be like. Or Obi-Wan. Like, dude, like,
the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, I know. We are truly, like, we got this and Peacemaker in the same week, and they're both incredible. We are spoiled motherfuckers, that's for sure. I keep saying that we're spoiled nerds, but we are. There's no doubt about that. Like, there's so much quality content out there as is, but as far as like nerd centric content now, it's insanity. And we only have to wait 2 months for Moon Knight, a month for the Batman. Like, we are
Moon Knight. I'll just go off on a tangent for a second. That's like the first Marvel show that I've been truly ecstatic about. Like,
I was really stoked for Loki.
I really liked Loki as a character, but I was like, I kind of was of the opinion like we've already kind of seen his entire progression. Like I didn't really need more from him, but it ended up like definitely delivering. Like that was probably my favorite show for the MCU. But like, oh my God, Moon Knight, I'm like legitimately very hyped for that show.
Oh yeah, I think that one's gonna be really special. Oscar Isaac, man, that dude's incredible. So, getting back to little baby Grogu, Luke is training Grogu how to jump, which again, this little fucking puppet is the cutest thing ever.
So cute. Oh God.
He's not doing so well in the jumping category, so Luke puts him in his backpack, which is very Empire Strikes Back with Yoda being on his back.
Yes,
he starts running and flipping through the woods, just like how he did in Dagobah. And man, like this shit is incredible. He climbs to the top of these bamboo branches, and Luke starts kind of explaining the Force to Grogu. The Force theme starts playing in the background, and we're all like, "Holy shit, dude! Like, what is this? What is this show? What the fuck?"
We weren't worthy.
No, we were not. We were not worthy. Luke tries to get Grogu to train with a training remote, which we saw Luke train with in A New Hope that Obi-Wan set up for him. But, Luke had a lightsaber to dodge these blasts, and Grogu didn't. He gets blasted with one. I felt bad for the little guy. But then we get a little flash forward, and we see him flipping all over the damn place, dodging all the blasters, and he force stops it and just breaks it. And it was dope to see him flipping everywhere.
Oh my God, dude.
Very prequel trilogy of Yoda fucking doing 20 fucking backflips and being badass.
All I can say is when he reaches full capability, Grogu's about to be a menace.
Yo, straight up, dude. Straight up. Yeah. Like we've already seen him force choke people, stop a mudhorn in midair and shit. Like, dude is powerful. And that's kind of adding more to this. We see Luke and Ahsoka talk, and holy fuck, man. I already talked about earlier how I wanted something like this, and we got it. And it was everything I could have asked for.
Yeah.
Ahsoka's saying, you trained him well, and Luke's kind of just like, I'm just kind of helping him remember. I'm not really doing anything. And he mentions how he wonders if it's that. Well, she hands him the gift that Mando gave him, saying, "Oh yeah, I knew he visited." And Ahsoka explains, "Hey, I told you they have a great bond, very strong bond with each other." And Luke says, "I wonder if his heart is in it." And Ahsoka says, "You're so much like your father." And that I straight up started crying. God, that broke me, dude. Like anyone who's a Clone Wars fan, that had to absolutely break them because I was like, like I said, I've been wanting something like this. I did not think I would get it this soon. And that line, I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is beautiful and perfect and so well done. Oh,
that was the heart of the episode right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was amazing. Other than the kind of Mando Grogu, being in the same place but not reuniting. That I think that building to this was just like the perfect storm of emotion.
Yes.
You see them, you're like, oh, please just let them be together, man. And then she drops that line. She's like, yep, there you go. Cry, bitches.
Yep.
Everyone cry. God. And basically she pieces out, and Luke's like, am I ever going to see you again? And she just says, perhaps. And I'm wondering if they will see each other again.
Especially, where do you think she goes?
I think she's going to find Thrawn, bro.
Is it Ezra time?
I think that's what the Ahsoka show is going to be about. Ezra time, baby. I would imagine, right?
I would think so. Yeah.
Pick up Sabine, and go Thrawn hunting.
What's the guy that's like his character design was like the precursor to the Wookiee?
Yeah, it starts. What is his name? Now I forgot.
I almost said Zalbar, but that's from I think KOTOR.
It is something with a Z.
Zed,
because he was the same. He was the same species as Cal's master in Fallen Order.
Yeah, like the werewolf people. Or wait,
yeah. What is
he a werewolf person?
It did start with a Z.
It's not really like a werewolf. It's like a weird lizard kind of alien. Yes, Zeb.
Lasat. That's what it was. That's his race, the Lasats.
Yes, and of course, yeah. And that was Cal Kestis' master, was the same race who gets killed from Order 66. Spoilers for the opening scene of Fallen Order. Sorry, guys. And the best droid in Star Wars, in my opinion, Chopper.
Bro, I just read on the Wikipedia page that was played by Dave Filoni.
Yo, what?
I know. I'm like,
Chopper. Holy shit, that's amazing.
I'm like, of course he is, because he's the best droid ever. Filoni God.
He's like R2D2 on crack, man. He is so great. I can't wait to see him in live action. Once we see him, I'm gonna lose my shit.
Oh, I know.
Oh my god. I'm guessing he's probably with Hera. So I guess the first time we see Hera live action, we'll see him, I would imagine. Which we technically did see Hera in The Rise of Skywalker. The ghost was there. We didn't see her, of course, but we saw the ship.
So
she's still alive,
Hera into Rogue Squadron when they finally drop that movie.
I don't think that movie is happening, and that was my theory, that she would be a big part of it, because she did fight the war. She was a part of the whole thing. She's in the Rogue Squadron game too. I don't think that movie's happening.
Why not? Why?
Because it's Lucasfilm movies are a problem.
I want Star Wars Top Gun, and I want it now.
I mean, dude, I was stoked. Patty Jenkins doing that movie, like, man, I was stoked. But it is what it is.
I was stoked until Wonder Woman 84 came out, and then I was like, I
mean, dude, not a lot of directors have a perfect filmography. Okay, she did Monster and Wonder Woman 1.
That's very fair.
It's better than most filmmakers have made. All right.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
I liked Wonder Woman 1984. All right.
Oh, yeah, Sean.
Exactly. One movie doesn't ruin everything, you know. Hey, okay. So many people, including yourself, hate The Last Jedi, which Rian Johnson did, and then love Knives Out when it came out. Right? It's possible.
It's true. And I liked Ozymandias, the episode from Breaking Bad that Rian Johnson did. So
I mean, yeah. Looper? Come on.
Yeah, I liked Looper too.
Yeah, also Rian Johnson. See? Just saying.
But I don't like any of those more than I hate The Last Jedi.
Okay, let's not get into this conversation.
Anyways, that's a whole other tangent. Let's get back to what we love, which is Boba episode 6.
We don't need to go down that road, all right? Yes, and then we see Bando go back to Tatooine, joins the crew. We see Black Chrysanthemum, we see the mods, we see Fennec, we see Boba for 2 seconds in his show. Just making a joke. And obviously, I don't feel that way. like with some people.
Yeah, I love that.
Hey,
sorry, I was just gonna say I love that Boba, or I love that Mando flew right into now Boba's palace. I was gonna say Jabba's, but
yes, yeah.
Boba's palace, I loved how he just like flew straight in and landed. It was just like it just had this like strength to it, right? Like, okay, this is fully Boba's palace now.
Yeah, which was sick. Also in the background, when you can see the throne, his helmet is on the throne too, which I thought was pretty dope.
Ooh, love that.
Yeah, it's very
cool.
Missed that. Very, very cool. And they're kind of preparing for the war that's ahead. Fennec lays out that like, we have Chrysanthemum and Din Djarin now, so we got enough of forcers to kind of keep us locked in. But if it turns into an all-out war, we're severely outnumbered. We need some people. Mando goes, I got you. So he flies out to which now known as Freetown, tries to talk to Cobb Vanth and his town to come in, join the fight. Cobb's like, hey, man, we're even. You helped us. I gave you the armor. We're good. And he's like, hey, maybe they're not your problem now, which we saw in the opening scene. They mostly going to be their problem. And he's like, this whole planet's in danger, man. I'm asking you for a favor. Come help out, man. All right.
He's like, you think the drug dealers aren't going to roll through Freetown? Because you're tripping. Because they are.
Yeah, because they did. I mean, obviously, Din Djarin didn't know that, but like we know, we're like, well, they're you got a point there, Cobb. Come on, bro.
we skipped a really small detail that I loved. How about when Din is flying to meet Cobb Vanth at Freetown, and you see the sand crawler with the crate dragon skull?
Dragon head. I wrote that in my notes and I skipped over it too.
So cool.
I was like, that's so sick.
Also,
so inside the saloon or whatever the fuck it is, it has the rib cage of the crate dragon inside of it.
Oh my god, I missed that. I'm gonna have to rewatch this episode. There's so much.
I watched it twice the same day because I watched it by myself, and then as I'm watching it, I told Sam because she hasn't really cared about the Boba stuff, which is fine. But I was like, you need to watch this episode. She's like, oh shit, Grogu, and I'm like, it's so much more than Grogu. I was like, it's so much more. I can't even put into words. I was like, that's the tip of the iceberg. So he's like, yeah, I'll see what I can do. He leaves. He's kind of like, hey, get the town together. We're gonna do this shit, basically. But
I'm sorry to keep interrupting, but I love when they're in the bar and he goes, like when he asks him, he goes, see, that's what I like about you, Mando. That big smile of yours lets you get away with anything. And he's got his helmet on.
It honestly makes those memes where they've shown like the transparent, like Pedro Pascal in the helmet. It made those memes even funnier, which obviously they couldn't have predicted that before they became like a big thing. It's just like one of those things where it's like perfect, the stars aligned and it somehow is relevant with the memes that are happening that they never could have guessed would happen. It's wild. it's wild shit. And then we see someone coming in the distance.
Oh my god.
As soon as we saw that hat, I was like, it's him. It's him.
I had to pause it, and I just was by myself screaming, I can't believe they're doing it. I can't believe it. They're doing it.
And again, even this is happening, we were just like, we want this to happen. There was no rumors, no whatever. There was nothing on it. We were just like, it was really dope this happened. And we see the live action debut of CAD motherfucking Bane.
I'm so happy
you don't know CAD Bane. I mean, it's how you should. If you don't know CAD Bane, which a lot of us is freaked out about because we watched the animated series, which he's been in Clone Wars, and he was recently in the Bad Batch, which we're going to see that rematch between Fennec and CAD Bane, and I'm stoked for it.
Yes. Oh my god, yes. When you sent me that picture,
also he what was
you
that?
Like you sent me that tweet where it was like, I can't wait for this rematch, and I was like, oh my god, I forgot that they had that showdown.
Me too.
Oh
yeah, and I mentioned this when we were talking about CAD Bane, about how there was a deleted scene in Clone Wars where Boba and CAD had a face-off, and he's the reason that the dent is in the helmet is CAD Bane. And I hope they show a flashback of that because that would be fucking dope. But they do have a past. CAD Bane, I believe, trained Boba to be a bounty hunter back in the day. But they have a storied past. He even mentions to Cobb Vanth when he goes, Boba Fett is a cold-blooded killer that worked for the Empire, trying to turn Cobb on him. And this dumbass fucking deputy comes out there, even though Cobb Vanth's like, stay the fuck in there, bro. I got this. Chill.
Yeah.
Chill. But he's an idiot.
He was. I mean, he was talking shit to Mando too. Like he's like, you can't park your ship there. It's like, bro, do you not have like any kind of situational awareness that these people will murder you without a second's notice? You are picking a fight with the most dangerous.
Just like high on the like,
the power.
Yeah. And I think he was probably just like, yeah, like I'm the fucking deputy, bro. Like I got this. He's like a bro-y guy.
Yeah,
that's the vibe I got from him. And at this point, we have not seen Cad Bane's full face. We just see his mouth, which, man, dude, his mouth looks dope. It's like scary.
Oh my god!
And it's the same voice actor who voiced him in the animated series, and it's perfect.
He looks so good.
And there's this super tense. As soon as you see him walking in the distance, this tense feeling, which I've never really felt in Star Wars. Not like this. This insane tense feeling. And there's the sick Western showdown between the two of them.
Yep.
This deputy's kind of inside, kind of shuffling like a fucking weirdo, and it takes Cobb's attention off of Cad Bane, Oh my god, he asks who he is, and you see the full reveal of his face with his eyes, and this dude looks like a fucking like sci-fi horror creature, and it's very faithful to how he looked in the animated series. He looks fucking amazing. These prosthetics, this makeup looks so fucking cool. The way his mouth moves, it's
good.
Unbelievable. From like effects to practical to puppeteering in this episode, it is a fucking feat of what they pulled off in this. It is unbelievable. I don't understand how they do it. Probably lots of money, but still, it's fucking crazy.
Bro, that shot of CAD Bane. But by the way, in my notes, my note for CAD Bane coming on screen is CAD fucking Bane. That's all it says.
Yes.
But like that shot of him off in the distance with his silhouette and like the heat making like that, the shimmer. That's like, in my mind, that's an iconic Star Wars shot at this point. It's absolutely gorgeous. And like you said, it just sets the tone of this tension. And the only other time that I've ever felt that tension, and honestly, more so in this scene, it was more like fear than actual tension, was when Darth Vader comes in at the end of Rogue One.
Oh yeah, that's utter fear.
Yeah,
that's like utter fear and massacre.
Yep,
that was just a bloodbath.
Yep.
But that scene is legendary. Yeah,
he's so intimidating, and we haven't even seen him do anything yet. It's awesome. They do such a good job of establishing that this guy is serious. Like even when they introduce Black Chrysanthemum, like yes, you get the vibe that Black Chrysanthemum is a bad dude. Like you could tell he can tear somebody up. But CAD Bane walking on screen, it's like this guy has like big bad energy.
Oh, dude, 100%. And it made me even more stoked for the finale. And
yes,
they do the standoff. The deputy takes Cobb's attention off of CAD. Cobb gets shot in the shoulder. It is his shooting arm, though, which may come into play because I don't think he's dead. But
no, I don't think so.
It is his shooting arm, and the deputy gets just fucking wiped out, which is like,
CAD Bane hits him like 6 times in the chest.
Yeah,
he's like, I don't think he's surviving.
He's dead as fuck. And there was a cool detail that I totally missed. That New Rockstars also pointed out, but when they go to, CAD pretty much goes, "Hey, this is Syndicate territory. You don't fuck with us. The spice keeps going through. We're good, basically." Mm-hmm. And as the town kind of runs out to help Cobb, they just kind of completely ignore the deputies just dead in the corner.
Yep.
And they're just kind of like, fix the marshal, but the guy who's like fucking dead, they're just like, whatever, like that was really funny. And they said, get the stims, which if you play Fallen Order, that's what you do to heal yourself. You use the stims that BD throws you, which I was like, ooh, I'm sure stims were also used in other parts of Star Wars, but that's what it reminded me of.
KOTOR as well.
Oh, I've never played those.
Soon.
But that makes sense.
When the remake comes.
Oh, I'm definitely fucking playing it. That's kind of what Sam actually ordered it for me on Switch too, but it still hasn't come.
Oh sucks. Shit! Okay, yeah, the remaster.
Yeah. No, I think it's just like a older version they made for Switch or something.
Oh, before nice. I didn't even know they had that. That's cool.
Yeah, so I was like, ooh, I'll play that. Fuck yeah. But I still haven't got it. I kind of want to play that and then play the remake and see how they are to each other because I have never played the older version. So I'm
just wait. There's a lot of Mandalorian lore in Knights of the Old Republic. A lot.
I don't think there's anything I love more in Star Wars than Mandalorian lore. I think it's like my favorite shit. Like I love it.
Like me as like a 8, 9, 10-year-old playing KOTOR, I was like, the Mandalorians are so cool. I don't understand why they don't do more with them. And then here I am now, almost 30 years old, and I'm like, they're finally doing it.
Yeah, after you watch like Clone Wars and Rebels, and then now this, you're like, oh fuck, all we need is Dave Filoni, baby.
Yep. The goat.
Yes. Oh my god. So that scene ends. Then we see the Pikes going into the sanctuary, and I'm blaming this all on you, and I'll tell you why. All right, this is on you. Okay. So the Pikes go in there. They have the ice. That's in my notes. It's your fault. You got too horny for the Twi'leks. And the horny police said, no. We're blowing them up. They leave the ice cream thing, which we also saw. We've seen numerous times in the Filoni verses, I'll call it. We saw it with the Beskar and Mandalorian. We saw it with the money. It's like, I forget what they call it. They have a Star Wars name for it, but it's like literally like an ice cream maker that is from like Empire Strikes Back or something, that they keep bringing back because Filoni and Favreau are the biggest Star Wars nerds on the planet. But the Pikes blow up the sanctuary.
A note: Max Rebo was not shown with the band's playing.
Yes,
so what the
he
fuck
lives.
Does this guy know? What does this guy know? He somehow survived Jabba's yacht. We didn't see him in this. Like, is this dude an inside guy? Like, what is up? Max
Rebo is a Force user.
Got the connects, bro.
He has Force prophecies.
Yes, since you were so horny for the Twi'leks, Filoni was like, I'm blowing them up.
My notes.
This is on you. Their blood's on your hands, Chris.
My notes straight up say, "Are the sexy Twi'lek okay?"
I'm gonna put my money on no.
I love how you call it. I love that you have the actual name as the Sanctuary because I was calling it the Pleasure Dome.
You would. That makes sense, and I love that.
Is the Pleasure Dome okay? Where are my sexy
Pleasure Dome is the Pleasure Dome is fucked, my friend. It is gone.
It is gone.
But Max Rebo seems to live. We should make Max Rebo lives shirts or something. Max Rebo lives. Oh, this is also like I watched the new Rockstars breakdown. They do the best breakdowns in the business of like crazy visual details. So as the sanctuary is on fire and it does that nice fade to the temple, it's like you see it on fire, like you see in The Last Jedi.
Oh God.
Which is insane. Like how much crazy attention to detail is that? Also, when Ahsoka said this is going to be a great school one day, I was like, is it though?
Yeah, for like 5
we're all
minutes.
Like, we know how this ends, and it's no good.
There's gonna be so many Jedi Padawan, but never a knight.
Sad but true. But then we go back to Luke and Grogu. Luke reveals that the Mandalorian did indeed bring some Beskar chainmail for that sweet baby Grogu, and he lays it down. But then he also opens his box and brings out fucking Yoda's lightsaber,
bruh,
that he also offers to him. But he says, "Hey, you got to choose one. What's it gonna be?" And then the episode fucking ends.
Dude,
fuck.
So in the Metalcore Nerds Discord, which I highly recommend all you listeners join, it's great for
link in the link
shit
below.
And like literally, I was cracking up. Someone's like, "Fuck Luke and his bullshit. Give them both to the kid. Quit being withholding Jedi."
Yes, yeah. Which is funny because they do kind of go on that whole thing of like, is the Jedi path right? Which we have seen. No.
Yeah, the answer is absolutely not.
The best one to come out of it, Ahsoka. Guess who left the Jedi Order? Ahsoka.
Yep.
Seems to be doing pretty well for herself.
It wasn't Barriss Offee, I'll tell you that much.
Ezra was trained in the Jedi way, but there was no master system to get made a Jedi Knight anymore. Like even Kanan wasn't. When Order 66 happened, he was a fucking kid, which we saw in Bad Batch. He never got trained to be a Jedi Knight either. He was kind of just figuring it out.
He's a Padawan like, for his whole adult life.
Yeah, I mean, so was Anakin though.
Don't say that too loud. Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we going to do?
Yeah, he's like, well, I'm not a master, bitch, and you're all dead.
That's why he lit the lightsaber.
Yeah, you call me, you triggered him. You triggered him, dude. So what do you think that Grogu is going to choose? Is he going to choose Mando, or is he going to choose Luke?
I mean, I really want to see Grogu with Yoda's lightsaber, but I think for the story, it would be better if he does choose the chainmail and goes with Mando, because like otherwise they're gonna have to explain either why Grogu leaves the Order or that Ben Kenobi kills him, Ben Solo kills him. And to be honest with you, I don't think that Ben could kill Grogu. I don't think he's strong enough. Straight up.
No. I mean, and there's already canon comics that show like the journey of Ben getting trained by Luke and stuff like that. And Grogu's nowhere to be found. And I don't think they're gonna retcon already canon shit. Like that's not their thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have kind of a different, and I do think he's probably going to go with Mando because everyone wants him back with Mando. But I have a counterpoint, which I'm probably going to be wrong, but hear me out. I think he chooses the lightsaber, and Mandalorian season 3 ends up being kind of like this episode. We see what Mando's doing. We see what Grogu and Luke are doing. We get more training. We start training with the lightsaber, shit like that. And then we see Din Djarin going to Mandalore and trying to bathe in the waters of Lake Minnetonka, you know, like fucking old Craig and shit. And then eventually they do come back together, and he becomes like maybe he's the one who takes the Darksaber and ends up being like the perfect combination, or maybe they're just saying this up to be that he will eventually wield the Darksaber instead of Yoda's saber, because he has kind of, you know, been trained in the ways of the Force, been trained in the ways of the Mandalorian, just like Tar Vizsla. Maybe I can see it going either way, but I would love just for season 3 to see more Luke, more Grogu training, and then eventually something happens and he has to like save Din Djarin or something, and he comes back, and then Luke finally sees, oh, they do belong together. I'm gonna let it go, or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, even if he doesn't have a lightsaber, like get that sweet boy a little Beskar spear, little Beskar paperweight.
I was gonna say if like somehow he sneakily gets the Beskar armor and wears it without Luke knowing somehow or something, if it's just under his robes, and maybe he is there when Ben attacks it, and the Beskar shit saves him.
Ooh, a little Frodo.
That's what Beskar's made for.
It's
made. Yeah,
little
it's
Frodo
made
versus
to
the
defend
cave troll
against lightsabers. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll be long gone before the whole Ben Solo shit.
Yeah,
but
me too.
I'm fine with either choice, honestly, because if we see more Luke and Grogu shit, fuck yeah. Especially after this episode, hell yeah, give me all of that.
That was awesome.
That was magic shit, dude.
I would
think about it,
more Mando.
It was a puppet. It was a puppet and a dude who was just acting shit that isn't even there. He was a meat puppet for Luke, and then a literal puppet. And the scenes they had together were unbelievable. It's crazy, man.
It was so good. I mean, I want to see more Grogu with Mando because I feel like there will be like more story there, because like there's only so much they can do with the actual Jedi training without it being an entire show about Luke and Grogu, and like Grogu eventually. But like the problem is we know the conclusion of like Luke's academy and him training. If we didn't know that, then I would be all in on having him go with Luke.
Right.
But, you know, unfortunately, the stuff that happens in the sequel trilogy kind of like curtails them actually ever having like a prosperous relationship where they both become, you know, successful Jedi and are protectors of the galaxy and so on and so forth.
Right. That is years from now, though. Like
that's
years.
True.
Like,
and I
Ben's
guess
a baby right now.
Grogu would still be basically a child size, though, right? Like because he ages so slow.
Yeah, it's not like Yoda was much bigger. He was maybe like he was bigger, but not much, and he was 700 years old or some shit. Yeah.
Bro, when Grogu starts
oh my god,
talking...
and it's so heartbreaking when Luke's like an entire lifetime for most people is like nothing to you. I was like, oh, like even if they do reunite, he's gonna see Din Djarin die and live way past him.
Yeah, like I feel like the finale of the Mandalorian should be like Grogu, like with old Mando, like in his like deathbed, basically.
Oh my god, I don't know if I can see Din Djarin not going out in blaze of glory, but it would be nice to see that. It would be nice. It would be nice to see that. But yeah, I mean, I'm cool with either. I guess there's a rumor going around that Han and Chewie bring him to Tatooine in the finale,
bro.
Or maybe speculation. I don't believe rumor because no rumor about the show has come out. Like honestly, like it's all been pure. Oh, this would be sick if that happened, and then they drop all this shit, and we're like, what?
So the only thing that I heard prior to the show airing was that Mando's new ship was a Naboo starfighter.
Oh yeah. We did.
That
hear
was the
that.
only thing that I heard. In our friends over at Kyber Culture podcast, they were the ones who put us onto that, but that was it. That's the only thing that I've heard about this show. So I literally have no idea what's going to happen in the finale outside of I'm confident that Boba is going to ride a Rancor.
Yeah, and it's gonna be fucking dope. And
it's gonna be so
dude,
sick.
I was telling a few of my friends this, and I was saying if this episode is as good as these last two, or like even anywhere near close, because these last two episodes have been some of the best Star Wars that's ever made. Like in my opinion, it's especially this episode felt like a fucking movie. Like it was. But if we get a good finale, like these 3 episodes are going to be like one of the best Star Wars movies ever made.
Yeah.
You know, like,
yeah. Agreed.
Just kind of like last 4 episodes of Clone Wars. Like that's a great Star Wars movie without it being a Star Wars movie. But if it lands and it's fucking badass, which it's kind of hard to think that it won't, with CAD Bane versus Boba and Fennec and fucking Mando being there and Black Chrysanthemum and whoever the fuck else might show up. We don't fucking know. Is Bo-Katan going to come and help out? I have no idea. After this episode, all bets are fucking off. Like,
yeah,
Luke could show up and fight on Tatooine, and I would not be surprised. I'd be like, holy fuck, Luke's back on Tatooine fighting pikes. Like, what is happening? After this episode,
I got a question for you, Sean. So, who is on the kill list for next episode? Who is on the potential chopping block that they could do without? Because I don't think CAD Bane. I don't see him. I don't see them introducing him in one episode and then killing him in the next one because of how
killing him.
How much history
tough.
he has in the story, and they haven't even he's going to be a really good antagonist. I feel like.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. Like, another thing, do we see that badass girl Tusken come back and the kid?
Oh God, I hope
him
so.
Die.
I want them back.
That'd be another dope surprise, which is an awesome payoff from the beginning of this series.
Yes.
You know, like, do we see Bosk? You know, or like some IG? Like, do we see the OG IG-88? Like, maybe on the opposing side. You know,
like, bruh. Okay, so I think that Fennec Shand. I think that she's gonna go in this episode.
Guys.
Yeah.
Oh my god. That'd be so
what
sad,
if CAD Bane kills her in the face off again?
Yo, dude, I don't think Bubba's dying. Obviously,
no.
Din Djarin is not dying. Let's be real.
No.
That's not happening.
Yeah.
I don't think they're gonna kill Black Chrysanthemum because I think they can do so much more with him, and he's fucking badass.
Yep.
Me and my friend were talking about if Bo-Katan shows up, she brings her crew. Maybe Sasha Banks' character dies, and Bo-Katan gets pissed.
Damn. Yeah,
maybe?
I mean,
She said she's not in Mando season 3, and that would make a good reason if he shows up in Boba Fett and dies.
Yeah, like I would be okay with her dying because she doesn't have a huge role and she's a cool character, but it would be like a meaningful death.
Exactly. It'd add more fuel to the Din Djarin Bo-Katan feud, the frenemy. Yeah, I guess I could see Fennec dying for sure. It would be sad though. I love Ming-Na Wen.
Yeah, I don't want her to die. Like I think she's amazing, but also it's like if you are gonna kill one of the more moment. Yeah, if you're gonna kill one of the quote unquote main characters, then she's definitely someone who she's really cool. She's very likable. She's got a lot of history, but she's also not absolutely essential to the plot moving forward.
Yeah.
And she's had time to let her. She's had time to have her character actually develop. Whereas CAD Bane, I don't see them killing him because he's they just introduced him, and same with Black Chrysanthemum. We haven't really gotten to see. You know, we're not really attached to those characters. Well, CAD Bane, we are.
Yeah, CAD Bane we are because the animated series. But for people who just watch live action, it's we just got this guy, and he looks terrifying.
Yeah.
He's this dude is scary. This dude is scary as fuck. I kind of thought about CAD Bane dying, but at the same time, I was I don't want him to die. They just brought him in.
No, I do not want him to die.
Old. He would be old as fuck for sure. But Aliens, I don't really know how age works. Bo-Katan's supposed to be 60 something. She does not look 60 something.
Yeah, just don't kill CAD Bane. Just please.
Yeah, I would if they didn't. But I do think this finale is going to be bonkers, and I'm very stoked for it. Very stoked to see how this ends. And I can't wait to watch the last 3 episodes in succession.
Yeah, this has been a trip. Like the front half of this season that we've been watching, like we both really enjoyed it, and then like they were like, okay, last 3 episodes, let's go hard. They like turned it up to 110.
Yeah. Yeah, like we said, we did not expect any of this. Even this episode, like after last episode, we're like, holy fuck, this is incredible. And then this episode almost kicks last episode's in the fucking nuts. Which is a lot to say because that episode was incredible.
They're so good. Yeah, it was.
Oh my god, I'm in awe of this episode still, dude. It's so good.
Yeah, my friend's like, this is the Mandalorian reunion show.
Yeah, it's like we were saying, this is Mandalorian 2.5 as it was intended to be. This is Mandalorian's story. It's Din Djarin's story. We just have other people along the ride for it, and I love that. It makes perfect sense. Oh fuck yeah, dude! I love it. I'm wondering if he'll show up in the Ahsoka show too.
At this point, I would say yes.
Why the fuck not, dude?
Yeah, like Filoni's just like all of it combined, all of it connects, everything.
And that is the new rumor, and I don't know if it's even a rumor or speculation, but I've seen kind of some like reputable YouTubers and reviewers kind of talk about this. Is that this is all going to lead to a big team up movie that's going to be like the Avengers, but in Star Wars, with the Ahsoka team, with Boba, with Mandalorian all together.
Fuck
and
yeah.
It probably would be against Thrawn, I would imagine. And if I could just see, I know a lot of I kind of brought it up in the Metalcore Nerds Facebook group. Again, if you're not a part of it, link in the description to join. It's dope. And I was like, this is the new rumor. Like, what do you guys think? And a lot of people were like, oh, I'd rather have a miniseries with it. And I get that. But if it's the same team involved, I have full faith that they're gonna murder a fucking movie. Like, what if this is Taika's movie? Taika's directing, Filoni and Favreau are writing it, maybe with Taika too, and like that's the dream team, bro. They did the season 1 finale of Mandalorian, and it was fucking amazing. So
yep,
I would be for, and seeing Mando and Grogu on the big screen, bro. Come on,
it would be so sick, so sick.
Like, tell me that wouldn't be fucking so amazing.
Don't even get my hopes up like that.
Dude, I hope it happens. This Untitled Star Wars movie is supposed to come in a couple years. If it's that, fuck yes. And what a better way to get the fan base on board with the movie side of it all. Connect it with these amazing TV shows that everyone loves.
Yeah, I was gonna say, honestly, like, you want to get the bad taste of like the sequel trilogy out of my mouth, you drop a Mandalorian big screen film, and I'm yours. I'm yours again. I mean, I'm gonna see whatever they put out regardless because it's Star Wars, right? Like, I just love Star Wars, but like my perception on the future of Star Wars will change dependent on the next big screen release.
100%. Yeah, and there could be no better option, in my opinion, than to do something like that. It's the best thing they can do. With Taika directing,
the future is bright.
It's
so bright.
But awesome, man. Is there anything else you want to say before we get the fuck out of here?
This episode was so good. I enjoyed it so much. I literally paused it to scream, "Oh my god, they're doing it, CAD BANE." And like the last time that I did that for TV was literally when Luke Skywalker showed up at the end of Mando season 2. So that should tell you how good this episode was.
Yeah, when Luke's showing up, I was just like, "Holy shit, they're doing it." 3 times until they showed him, and I was like, until they showed the saber, and I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" But this episode was that moment through the whole episode, pretty much.
Yeah.
It didn't have the emotional weight as Grogu and Mando at that last scene, because that moment completely gutted my insides when that moment happened. But it still did have, like I talked about, it had amazing emotional moments, and this episode was everything. It's like, it's probably one of the best pieces of Star Wars ever. And again, you couldn't have that without the original trilogy, even without a lot of the prequel stuff, even though some people hate the sequels. It did have some cool sequel stuff in there that kind of leads to the sequels.
Yeah. Like, I'm not a fan of the sequel trilogy, but that being said, like, I appreciate the nods and the connective tissue. And like, honestly, it, like, the whole time I'm just thinking, like, damn, I really wish that Dave Filoni had just been responsible for the sequel trilogy, because I feel like it would just be much more cohesive with everything and like more widely appreciated in general.
Yeah. I agree. I've said this numerous times. I'm a fan of the sequel trilogy, but me seeing stuff like Mando and this series as well, it makes me being like, oh man, they left so much on the table. It could have been so much better. Because my favorite part of the sequel trilogy is the characters, and I am fully aware that they like did Finn dirty. They could have done so much more with Kylo. They did a pretty good job with Kylo, but they could have done more. They could have done so much more with Poe. I know some people are kind of hit or miss on Rey. I thought Rey was pretty cool.
I like Rey.
Like a very, very good character. Sam loves Rey. That kind of makes me love it more. But I do kind of hate that they made her a Palpatine. I kind of wish she was still just a nobody, like they set up in Last Jedi. I think it would have made it much cooler, and it would have added to the Finn stuff being obviously Force sensitive, which they don't capitalize on at all, other than the Force Awakens, and just shit like that. Like even like Ezra or Kanan, they're not connected to any bloodline, but they're Force sensitive. You know, it's like it would have added more to that kind of stuff that I love, or even Ahsoka. You know, like. Anyone can be a Jedi, you know, or Force sensitive or whatever, you know. It is what it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a whole other can of worms. But that being said, like I do think the future of Star Wars is really bright. And if you got burned by the sequel trilogy and you weren't appreciative of that, like you can take comfort in knowing that it seems like they've really done a course correction and they're really like they've honed in on the best version of Star Wars that you could possibly get.
And they're Clone Warsing the sequel trilogy, like Clone Wars did for the prequels. They're giving much more depth and background and shit like that, which is cool. I appreciate that stuff as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, one more episode, and then you're not my co-host until we do it again, which I'm sure.
I know. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's almost over. I was like, oh my god, there's only one left. No.
No, you've been an amazing co-host. I'm so happy you did this with me, honestly.
Oh, dude,
it's been an honor.
I'm just happy, like week to week, I get to talk about Boba Fett with someone who loves Star Wars as much as me. That's all the thanks I need right there. It's just everything.
Yeah, it's been awesome. You're the man. But until next week, we'll be talking about the finale.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's gonna be dope. We'll be riding Rancors while we're recording it too. We'll add it in post. I don't know how to do that, so I don't think I can make that happen. But until next time, see you later, nerds.